Hey everyone, and welcome. Hand waving ever feel like you understand English pretty well, but when it comes to actually speaking, your tongue gets tied in knots? You're not alone. Did you know that even native speakers stumble over their words sometimes? It's all part of the beautiful, messy process of communication. In this video, we're going on a fluency adventure, getting you comfortable and confident expressing yourself in English. Whether you're chatting with friends, nailing that presentation, or simply crafting that perfect email. We're tackling speaking, listening, and writing, because true fluency is a trifecta of awesome. By the time you finish this video, you'll have a handful of practical tips and techniques you can start using immediately to unlock your inner English speaker. Think smoother sentences, quicker thinking on your feet, and even a boost in your writing clarity. You'll be amazed at how much progress you can make with just a few focused strategies. And hey, if you stick around until the very end, I've got a bonus tip that's so effective, it's practically magic. It's a simple trick to help you absorb new vocabulary and sentence structures effortlessly, so you can start using them in your own conversations right away. So, are you ready to ditch the hesitation and embrace the flow? Let's dive right in. The acrid scent of wet clay hung heavy in the air, a comforting blanket of earthy aroma. Sunlight streamed through the large windows of the painted pot, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air and glinting off the shelves lined with bisque-fired pottery. I, ever the enthusiast for new experiences, had signed up for a pottery painting workshop. My friend, Sarah, a pragmatist with an artist's eye, had agreed to join, mostly, I suspect, to prevent me from making a complete fool of myself. Then there was Liam, Sarah's perpetually bemused boyfriend, dragged along like a reluctant puppy on a leash. Right, so, how does this work? I asked, gesturing vaguely at the shelves overflowing with mugs, plates, bowls, and even miniature garden gnomes. My voice echoed slightly in the high-ceilinged studio. Sarah, ever practical, picked up a pamphlet from the nearby table. It explains everything here, she said, holding it out to me. Choose your piece, pick your paints, and create. Her tone suggested she was skeptical about the create part, at least where I was concerned. Liam, perched precariously on a stool, piped up, as long as create doesn't involve abstract expressionism using primary colors, I'm good. He wrinkled his nose, clearly picturing a disastrous outcome. I ignored them both and started browsing, overwhelmed by the choices. There were simple, elegant mugs, intricate teapots, and whimsical animal figurines. Finally, I settled on a small, plump owl, its wide eyes seemingly judging my artistic abilities. Right, Mr. Owl, let's see what we can do, I muttered, clutching the owl to my chest. We found a table and sat down, surrounded by an array of colorful paints and brushes. A young woman with vibrant purple hair and a nametag that read, Willow, approached us. Hi there, first time at the painted pot? She asked, her voice bright and welcoming. Yep, I replied, a little intimidated, if I'm honest. I haven't picked up a paintbrush since primary school. Willow chuckled. Don't worry, we're all about having fun here. Just let your creativity flow. Do you have any questions before you get started? Actually, I began, picking up a small bottle of what looked like glue. What is this? Slip. I read the label aloud. Willow explained, that's for fixing any little mistakes. Say you accidentally smudge the paint. Just dab a bit of slip on. Let it dry, and paint over it. It's like a magic eraser for pottery. Oh, I think I'll need a lot of that, Liam muttered under his breath, earning him a sharp elbow from Sarah. We spent the next hour immersed in our painting projects. Sarah, predictably, was meticulously painting a delicate floral pattern onto a teacup, while Liam, after much deliberation, had opted for a plain white mug, adding a single, slightly lopsided black dot to represent a coffee bean. I, however, was having a slight crisis. I had envisioned my owl as a majestic creature of the night, with deep brown feathers and piercing yellow eyes. The reality, however, was less majestic. The brown paint had become streaky, and the yellow eyes looked more surprised than piercing. I said, holding the owl at arm's length. This isn't quite what I had in mind. Sarah, glancing up from her teacup, suppressed a smile. Perhaps a little less brown and a little more blending, she suggested diplomatically. Speaking practice. Practice speaking this sentence aloud. Perhaps a little less brown and a little more blending? Pay attention to the intonation and pauses. Vocabulary explanation. Bisque fired. This refers to pottery that has been fired once at a lower temperature to harden the clay, making it ready for glazing or painting. Example. The bisque-fired vases were ready to be decorated. Meticulously. This means very carefully and precisely. Example. She meticulously arranged the flowers in the vase. I sighed and picked up a clean brush, attempting to blend the streaky brown. It only seemed to make matters worse. My owl now looked like it had been caught in a mudslide. Maybe stripes? Liam suggested, his tone a strange mixture of helpfulness and amusement. Stripes? I repeated, incredulous. Owls don't have stripes. Just then, Willow walked by. Seeing my distress, she stopped. Everything okay? She asked. I explained my predicament, gesturing at the unfortunate-looking owl. Willow smiled kindly. Sometimes, the best thing to do is start over, she said, offering me a damp sponge. Wipe it clean, and try again. Think about layering the colors gradually to build up the depth. Her clear, concise instructions were exactly what I needed. Taking a deep breath, I wiped the owl clean, feeling a strange sense of relief. Willow's advice had clarified my muddled thoughts. This time, I started with a lighter brown, carefully layering the paint and blending it as I went. Slowly, painstakingly, the owl began to take shape. By the time we were finished, my owl, while not exactly a masterpiece, was at least recognizable as an owl and not a mud-covered something. Sarah's teacup was, as expected, exquisite, and even Liam's minimalist mug had a certain quirky charm. See? Sarah said, nudging me with her elbow. Not so bad after all. Yeah, I admitted, feeling a surge of accomplishment. Not bad at all. As we left the studio, the scent of wet clay clinging to our clothes, I realized I had not only painted an owl, but also learned a valuable lesson about patience, persistence, and the clarifying power of clear communication. And who knows, maybe my next pottery painting endeavor wouldn't require quite so much slip.